Oh boy, this is gonna be so much fun.
Oh my God.
We only have 1,358 more miles to go.
I need coffee.
When Buc-ee moved to town, he gave Pedro a call. And he said, Pedro, there's a new sheriff in town.
There's a new beaver in town.
And I have buck teeth. Get out of my way. We have seen over the last week major glimpses of an apparent train wreck of challenges for charging on the CCS network. And I want to see what it's really like.
Florida.
No, all over the country. All over the country. So, Kyle has started this Rate Your Charge Twitter account. If you haven't seen that or subscribed to it yet, please do. And please check in, not only to plug share, individually with each one of your sessions to document what is really going on at all of the different charge points, whether they're EA, whether they're EVgo, whether they're ChargePort, whether they're Juul. We don't really care. Whether they're Tesla. Document what's going on. Tag us in a Twitter with Rate Your Charge, and we will retweet that so that everyone can understand what's really happening with the state of play in terms of charging in America today. It says we're going to get there with 3% state of charge.
Less than before. We're going to wuss it out. We're going to just bail.
We're going to wuss it out?
Yeah, we're going to bail.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
You're allowed. You're with me.
I don't know how to wuss it out.
I do.
How?
It's called stop.
My goal was to charge 100% on CCS from Florida to Connecticut. I could have stayed on the hook. I could have done it, but I've got optionality. And so out of courtesy, I moved. Not good, FPL. You got to get these sites up and running. This is not good over here in Yulee. We have actually found a problem with a Tesla Supercharger. I think this is the first time I've ever seen this. You want to drive? Yeah, we'll let Tesla drive.
No, not in the fog. Don't, no.
No, Tesla, Snowbird knows what he's doing in the fog. It's no problem.
Is that FSD?
Penny, it's FSD. Take over immediately. Whoa. Yes. Okay, welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today we are starting our journey back to Connecticut. Unfortunately, we've had a great time here on Marco Island with the family and friends. A really great time, but it is New Year's.
You said unfortunately. We've had a great time. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah. Fortunately, no, but not even that. We had a great time. Right? Is that good? Okay, we had a great time.
Start over, David.
No, I don't need to start over. This is
You're
fine.
Delirious.
I'm not delirious. We've had a tremendously amazing time here on Marco Island. And, listen, it's January 1st. It's 2023. High five on that.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Say goodbye to 2022. Say hello to 2023. Today, we've got an interesting journey because not only do I have myself with me. Does that make sense? No.
You're delirious.
Well, what time is it? It's 6:47 in the morning. And I have Bailey, of course, but I've got Kathy, Out of Spec Mom, who I convinced not to fly back due to popular demand.
Taking one for the team.
People said we need more Kathy in the videos. So I figured I'd save $500 on an airfare and have her sit next to me the whole time. So now, by the time this video airs, my first road trip down from Connecticut to Florida will have already been aired. And if any of you watched it, it was pretty simple. I mean, I stopped 6 times. I used the Tesla Supercharger network the whole time, and it just worked every single time. And I mean, what fun is that? Right, Kath?
No, that's fun.
That's fun?
That's fun.
Well, I have an idea.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. You ever see one of these things? Wait, where is it?
Your bottle of Excedrin.
Bottle of Excedrin. We're going to need that. You ever see one of these things? All right. We are going to test out on this trip all the way back up to Connecticut, but we're not going to use the Supercharger network unless we sort of have to, or unless Out of Spec Mom starts yelling at me. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try to use the entire CCS network all the way back up home and see what that's like on a holiday weekend.
That's not going to be good.
Well, you say
I've been
that.
following things on Twitter. That is not going to be
Well, listen, maybe you should have a more positive attitude. Who knows what's in store for us? Look, I think you're right. I think it is not going to be good. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to set some rules, okay? When you say throw in the towel on CCS because it's just not working, then we're going to go to Tesla. But I need at least 5 minutes at each EA station. 5 minutes.
How many times do we have to charge?
Well, I only charge 6 times coming down, and if I can grab 350s at EA with my CCS Combo 1 adapter, we should be able to replicate that.
You're suggesting on our 2-day trip
Yes.
back up north, that would only add an extra, say, call it 7 steps, 35 minutes to our trip? Well, if you're only going to allow 5 minutes at an EA to see if it works.
Right, but I mean, yeah, but
you gotta drive
it's not like
to it.
EAs are always right next to Superchargers, right? So I'm going to need you as co-pilot here. Okay, you're going to have a very important role, because we're going to have to bring up multiple apps in order to find.
Gosh, already out.
Because that's the only way it works. You have to look
Drop me off at the airport. I'll just fly home. It's very complicated.
Listen. You said you would drive with me.
Well, because I feel badly that I left you alone on the way down. It's a long trip, so I'm taking one for the team, and I thought I'd keep you and Bailey company.
All right.
But now I think this is evolving into something I didn't know it was evolving into.
I didn't really want to tell you what my thought process was. Well, the thing is, we've been having a lot of issues lately with CCS.
I feel a little apprehensive.
And I think it's important to document what are people going through for trying to charge their CCS cars. Now, with this car, I've got an alternative. I have a plan B. I feel bad for all the people that don't have a plan B. Or maybe I shouldn't feel bad for them. But I want to find out today.
You should feel bad for them. I'm one of them with my
No, I know. But I'm just saying, we have seen over the last week major glimpses of an apparent train wreck of challenges for charging on the CCS network. And I want to see what it's really like.
Florida.
No, all over the country. All over the country. So, Kyle has started this Rate Your Charge Twitter account. If you haven't seen that or subscribed to it yet, please do. And please check in not only to plug share individually with each one of your sessions to document what is really going on at all of the different charge points, whether they're EA, whether they're EVgo, whether they're ChargePort, whether they're Juul. We don't really care. Whether they're Tesla. Document what's going on. Tag us in a Twitter with Rate Your Charge, and we will retweet that so that everyone can understand what's really happening with the state of play in terms of charging in America today. So at least America for now. I don't know. Maybe we're taking this thing global. So I think we probably will. Why not? So yeah, Kathy, today's going to be fun.
Look, if you get me a nice hot cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee,
yeah,
I can get on board with this.
All right, good.
Unless it turns out from here to, call it South Carolina, it's a disaster. I don't know that I'll do the rest of the trip that way. Well, we'll stay positive. I'll get a little coffee, and we'll give it a try. And America, out of spec mom, doing it for you.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. Think about it. It's 70 degrees outside here.
Yeah.
Right?
Beautiful.
We're at an 81% state of charge. We have a long way to go now on a road trip before we even can think about Electrify America.
Right.
Or CCS or EVgo. I set up...
How many miles do you get on this car?
Miles?
Miles.
Yeah, we'll go a couple hundred and maybe 300, something like that.
All right.
250, 300. It all depends. I've set up this new thing called Auto Charge Plus on the EVgo network. So not only do we want to look for Electrify America stations, but we can look for EVgo, we can look for Juul. We're going to use
for Plug Share?
Well,
so I have that app I can check.
Plug Share is going to help us identify where we're going to charge.
Okay.
All right. And I have an account now with Electrify America. I paid the $4, so we're buying down the rate to, I think, 31 cents a kilowatt hour, which, here's another reason, that's cheaper than Tesla.
Is it as fast?
It can be if we get a 350, yes.
All right, well, then we'll keep our fingers crossed. Let's see if we can make this happen on anything other than a Tesla supercharging network.
And if all else fails, then we'll go back to Tesla.
Okay.
All right, this is going to... Oh, boy, this is going to be so much fun.
Oh, my God.
We only have 1,358 more miles to go.
I need coffee.
Well, we started off our road trip with a
road closure.
Like 2 miles up the road.
That's not a good sign.
That's not good. No, you see, that's good because we're getting all the negativity out of the way.
It's an adventure.
Up early. Plus, I've never been back here.
I know.
The guy just said, go this way.
And we're just following this.
And here I am following a Cadillac. What are the odds? A Cadillac Eldorado
in Florida.
In Florida.
Shocking.
And why am I following him at 24 miles an hour?
I don't know, when the speed limit clearly is 35.
Because he doesn't know where he's going.
No.
And I don't know where I'm going. But one thing's for sure.
We're going.
We're going. We did our detour. We're back on Collier. And what did we learn?
That there are a lot of developments on these off-roads, one after another.
What, gated communities?
Gated communities,
with homes.
Golf communities.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're just everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. And they all filled with gators.
They sure are.
Right?
I think so.
Golf, gators, Gatorade.
I bet they have some of that.
They probably do. All right. So, well, we're back on. This fog is very foggy.
Very thick.
Very thick. You want to drive?
No.
All right, we'll let Tesla drive.
No, not in the fog. Don't know.
No, Tesla. Snowbird knows what he's doing in the fog. It's no problem.
Is that FSD?
Penny, it's FSD. Take over immediately. Whoa. Yes. Well, we just passed Electrify America, Naples on the left at the Walmart. We passed Cracker Barrel, which I love. We may have to hit a Cracker Barrel.
Sort of is a great place.
I love Cracker Barrel. It's so good. They're so nice in there, and the food is just so healthy. You know, I mean, it's just an amazing place to go. And then Yulee. Now, I don't know if you saw Kyle's video about the Yulee. I didn't even know Yulee. I thought Yulee was like a vaping thing.
What?
But yeah, like you smoke it.
Oh.
But no, it's a charging station. And it's a DC fast charging station.
Is it a new company?
I think they're out of Canada. I think they've been around for 3 or 4 years, but it didn't work. So we tried to
I watched that. I saw that video.
Yeah, what's cool about that station is it has a battery pack in it that what it does is it sips the energy from the grid at, 10 or 20 kilowatts, and then it charges up a giant 180 kilowatt hour battery. So what it does is it takes energy, puts it into a battery, and then when you pull up, you can actually take the energy really fast out of the battery. The only problem with that is that if you get multiple people pulling up one after another, the battery will get depleted, and all you'll do is charge it 30 kilowatts. So, but for use cases that are not used very often, I think it's a smart move. So you were just asking me a little bit about
full self-driving.
Full self-driving. And right now it's not working at all. I think the fog, that's one thing, is this is a completely vision-based car. What that means is they've dropped radar. There's no LiDAR. All it does is it uses the cameras. There are 8 or 9 cameras around this car. And when visibility is reduced, it's smart enough to know, I'm not going to let you use autopilot. So do you know the difference between autopilot, enhanced autopilot, and full self-driving?
Is that the road trip where I get quizzed on how much do I know about electric cars?
Well, I'm just wondering how much you've absorbed of, because we've never really sat down and said, okay, class is in session.
No.
Right? So I'm wondering how much you've absorbed of all the back and forth commentary. All right, so
probably a very minuscule
okay,
amount.
so let's start with autopilot.
So autopilot, and I'm just trying to go off on what I remember when I had my own Tesla.
Yeah.
Autopilot is it has lane keep assist, so I can just keep right into my lane. Keeps me centered.
Well, lane centering is a little different than lane keep assist.
This is how our morning starts out.
Well,
it has to be a question.
Do you want to get an A+ on the test?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so sometimes when I'm driving down the road and I don't have autopilot engaged and it jerks you back over and you go, what did you do? Right? What it's doing is it's actually monitoring your position in the lane interactively, even without autopilot engaged, and it'll put you back. It's like
I thought that's what I just said. It keeps me in the center.
No,
of the lane.
but that's different. That's different because what that's doing is if you drift, it kind of like says, "Hey, Dave, what are you, stupid? Go back in your lane," as opposed to autopilot. Now let's talk about lane centering on autopilot. What is that?
I thought it was the same thing. It keeps you in the center of the lane.
Right.
What I know about that is you can't, it won't automatically change lanes in the regular autopilot.
Right. Okay. You're jumping ahead to what enhanced autopilot is, which is good. But what else does autopilot do in addition to keeping you centered in the lane?
I think it keeps the distance between you and the car in front of you.
Right. And so what it is it's cruise control, but it's smart cruise control, dynamically looking at the car in front of you. And if you set your cruise control, like we're doing 72 right now, and
that's slow for Florida.
I know, I'm just saying, like right now I did 70, I'm doing 72, and it's keeping me centered in the lane. You have to keep your hands on the wheel for this, right? It needs to detect that you're there. It also uses that little camera that if my eyes are looking down, it'll actually put me in jail.
So is that the thing now, so people can't fall asleep at the wheel? It will see that.
That is correct. Or if you're looking at something over here, that will it'll notice if your eyes are, and I got thrown in autopilot jail 4 times so far.
Well, I don't think that was fair because
I know I had a wire covering up that little can. Kyle figured that out. All right. So autopilot will allow you to do lane centering like we're doing now. And also if a car is in front of me, and let's say I set my cruise control to 78 and he's only going 74, it will slow down and that'll be good. So you won't crash into it. Okay. And then you mentioned enhanced autopilot. What does that add to autopilot?
That adds that the car will automatically change lanes. Right?
All right.
You put on
Perfect. So let's try that. Let's try that right now. Okay. Right? We're cruising down the road, lane centering, dynamic cruise, but no one's in front of us.
Right.
Now I'm going to put on my turn signal. All right. I put on the turn signal. The car takes the lane. All right.
It does it very well too.
It does, right?
Very well.
And now it grabs this lane. That's enhanced autopilot. Okay. If you want that feature, in addition to autopilot, it's $6,000.
Just to change lanes?
Basically. There's some other things it does as well, but that's the real thing. Now, see this guy is in front of me here?
Yes.
And he's going, what is he doing?
He's going to the left lane.
He's going to the left lane. Okay, but I just slowed down to 76, but we're going to pass him here. Now, I'm going to go over here to the right because I don't like to, it's like, why is he going over there? Okay. Autopilot speed adjusted due to poor visibility.
It is. We're coming into awful fog.
Wow, look at that. That's really smart. I like that.
That's good.
The speed limit's 70 and it's only letting me go 65 here. That's pretty good.
It's smart. You can't see anything.
Limited visibility ahead. Use caution. Okay, now full self-driving.
Full self-driving obviously does everything you're supposed to be able to do in real time as a driver. So you don't have to do anything. It does the gas, it does the brake, it changes the lane. Right?
Well, okay.
Simplified.
So it does. Imagine if you're in the city streets and there's a stoplight and there isn't a car in front of you, right? You with me? Okay, there isn't a car in front of you. You're on a stop. You're cruising down the road, and all of a sudden the light turns from green to red.
It noticed that.
It will notice that. You'll see it in the enhanced display right above the yoke here,
Yeah.
and the car will come to a complete stop.
Right.
When the light turns from red to green, it'll take off.
I feel like I just said that.
You didn't say that, I don't think.
Well, I said it recognizes the traffic lights.
Right, it'll recognize, so you don't have to have a car in front of you in order for the car to stop.
Right, I said
Right.
I think did I say that?
I don't
feel
think
like
you
I
said that.
Well, then I thought it.
Okay, what does it do if it sees a stop sign?
It stops.
Okay, good. What
if
if
it
you,
sees a pedestrian going across the street, it will stop.
it's supposed to stop,
Well, exactly. That's why you can't.
and I think you have to be really super careful with this, but,
Well, I was in the parking lot with you last night,
Yeah.
and it was wild.
it was wild,
It was wild.
yes. We're
It
gonna,
was not good.
we'll experience a little bit more of that.
That was-
But, so what you can do with full self-driving though, is you can put in your destination. And so for example, let's say we're getting off at an exit up the road 10 miles. Not only will it drive the car on the highway, but it will get off the exit. It will, oh boy,
Oh gosh.
I don't know. There's an
Somebody
accident.
in the divider.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow, man, you
You
really,
can't see.
really couldn't see. Okay, that was interesting. So let me go back over here. I'm driving the car myself now. Yeah, this fog is nasty. All right, so what you'll do is you put your destination in, and then it will take you to that destination. It'll get off the exits, it'll come to a stop, it'll turn left, it'll turn right. Theoretically, it's supposed to do that, but it's interesting. It does some things really well and some things really poorly. This is my opinion.
What you've experienced.
And I've experienced
Yeah.
it. So on average, I give it a B. Okay.
That's not good enough to rely on it for driving, right? It's got to be an A+.
It needs to be more consistent before someone can rely. It's a beta right now,
Yeah,
which
of
means
course.
they're putting it out to those people to test it and get the feedback and
Right.
do all that. So
But
you know,
anyway, just for example, last night you
Yeah.
had it on. We were coming back from getting ice cream, and you put in the address of our condo, and it just stopped right at our entranceway.
all right, in the
like
middle of Collier,
In the middle of
Collier,
the major road.
right? It just stopped on the road. We're here.
We're here.
Yeah,
It didn't bring us in the up the ramp in the driveway.
Right.
Yeah. So
right. And it also, remember,
Thank God no one was behind us.
well, I was watching for that.
Oh, you were.
Oh, sure, absolutely. You have to watch.
I didn't know
You have to
were.
be more alert using FSD than when you're regularly driving, because it can do some crazy things.
Yeah, it's wonky.
Like for example, when we were in Sweet Annie's parking lot last night, do you remember what it did?
Yeah.
It started jerking the wheel left and right. Then it accelerated, and
then
it
we
was
went
gonna
around
it
really
was gonna
fast.
go across the parking lot, and then it decided not to do that, and it went around, and then it just accelerated fast, like hard. You know, so I let it do what it was going to do, but it's scary. It's
No,
like,
Joanne and I were.
I know it's entertaining, but the problem is that what I fear is that people are going to rely on it too much,
And they can't.
and they shouldn't, right? Do you know that Full self-driving, if you're going to buy that for the entire car, it's $15,000. Now, I think the eventual vision of Tesla is to actually have it do it really smooth. And, you know, there's that competing platform, which is the Autopilot competing platform that you can retrofit cars with. Again, I don't know enough about it, but this thing feels jerky at times. And I give it an F, like dangerous. Other times, it's fine. It's an A+. It does great. So, anyway, there you have it. Okay, so we have a strategy for our first stop. Originally, we were going to stop at a Florida Power and Light. There were 2 360s and 4, I think, 200 kilowatt stations. They're in Sarasota. But the thing is, this car has so much range, we would arrive there with what, 36% state of charge? And that's just not the out-of-spec way, right? So we got to blow by Sarasota. There were 2 other options that made sense. One is what's called the Walk at Highwoods Preserve, which is an Electrify America station. I like that place. I've stopped there many times because there's a, what's that called again, that restaurant?
I think there's a Panera.
Panera. There's a Panera bread there, which is very good. I believe it's an 8-station EA. I've had pretty good luck there. So we will arrive there with a 16% state of charge. Now, we could have pushed it perhaps to Bushnell, which is further up the road, but it's telling me that I would have to stop somewhere at a Supercharger. And so we're going to do the Walk at Highwoods Preserve, and if for some reason we can't charge there, then we'll have 16% buffer, and there are plenty of Superchargers around, so we should be fine. So that's sound good?
Yeah, very good.
No stress. None. Okay, just checking in. We are 24 miles away from the Walk at Highwoods Preserve. Now again, this is an Electrify America station. There's 8 stations. I believe there's 2 350s and 6 150s and a Panera Bread, plus a Dunkin' Donuts, which is very good. So far on this trip, let me put my turn signal on there. So far on this trip, we have gone a total of, let's look at this. We've gone 165 miles in 2 hours and 27 minutes. Now, one of the things is there's been a lot of fog, and the fog has actually recently lifted. So if you think about it, you know, we really couldn't carry that great a speed, but I think the traffic is starting to pick up now. It's 73 degrees out at 9:06 a.m. on New Year's Day. We're at a 24% state of charge, and it looks as though we are going to arrive at EA with a 16% state of charge. We have a backup in case, for whatever reason, we can't charge at EA. I have a high level of confidence that we will be able to. Last time I checked, at EA. I have to actually use the PlugShare app to figure out where I'm going to charge, and then I have to go to the EA app to figure out how many people are charging there. It looked as though no one was there about an hour ago charging. Now that can change, obviously, it's New Year's Day. And it said that there was, all of the units were available. Well, I'm going to check that for sure. As a backup, just up the road, there's at Land O'Lakes, there is a Supercharger that I will keep in my back pocket and use if I need to. 250s, 8 stations, but I don't think we're gonna have to use it. I think we're gonna be good. I'm looking forward to plugging in at EA with my Combo 1 adapter and getting a nice breakfast, a nice cup of coffee at Panera Bread. One of my favorite places to stop. So that's the check-in. We'll see you in the walk at Highwoods Preserve in just about 18 minutes. Okay, so we've done exactly 188 miles, 2 hours, 47 minutes, burned 311 watt hours per mile. Electrify America, we're pulling into the walk at Highwoods Preserve, and there are 8 stations here. And according to Electrify America, all 8 stations are available. We're going to find that out within the next 45 seconds. You know, this could be a good first charging stop.
That would be great.
What do you think, Kath?
Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. I mean, there's 8 chances.
There's 8 chances, right? I mean, when you think about it, compared to Naples,
destination is on the right.
there's only 4 stations there.
Yeah.
Right? This is 8 stations.
8 is good.
8 is twice as good.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So I'm saying there's, until we see it,
Let's find it.
I don't know. I do like this stop.
Well, nothing's open. It's New Year's Day.
I see the green.
I see the Panera.
You see the Panera.
I see the Dunkin'
You see the
Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yay.
I see the Honda Accord. Okay. I do see
Oh, I see up here.
a Lucid.
Whoa!
Oh,
Nice.
nice, baby. Another Lucid.
Oh, this is Lucid
2
country.
Lucids and a VW. Now, how is it possible? Just help me out.
Oh, I see. I do like that two-tone, the silver.
Yeah.
Like that.
How is it possible that Electrify America is stating that that all 8 are available? Now, there's a 350 here. I'm not going to complain, but that is not, you know, there are 2 that are charging here now. A Lucid, another Lucid just left, and an ID4. But look, we've got a 350. We're going to plug in. We've got a beautiful Lucid over there. Congrats on that car. Is that a Grand Touring or a Touring?
The Air, I think it's great.
Grand Touring. Beautiful. Love it. So here we are. There were 3 cars charging, 2 Lucids, an ID4. And what was interesting was Electrify America said no cars were here. Everything was available. But what I'm going to do is I got to go on my app here. Let's see. And what station am I at? 7. We're going to go there. We're going to swipe, processing payment. I always swipe first, even though they say don't do that. And we're going to plug in. There we go. Let's see the green. Come on in. Let's see if we see the green. The handshake takes a long time. I can tell you that it took 6.6 seconds at a Supercharger we can time this to see how long it takes from the time that I plugged in. But there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes. It has to actually authorize the payment. It's checking out the car. It's figuring it out. It's still blue. That means that it's talking. I don't know. There we go. Okay, we've got ignition. So let me turn dog mode on for Bailey. It's time to eat. I would say so far, this is good, folks. This is the way we want to start our trip to Connecticut. All right, so we pulled in at 16%, and we are currently pulling 138 kilowatts. I'll take that. Looks, you know, I paid the $4. This is only 31 cents a kilowatt hour. Now, of course, we're at a 350 over here, so I'm going to keep my eye on this charging speed and see if we ramp up. There we go, up to 140. We'll see. So far, so good. So here we are at the walk, Highwoods Preserve, Florida. First charging stop. Just finished charging up to 90%. We had breakfast. Kathy and I had breakfast over here at Panera Bread. We've got 8 stations here, 7 of which are the Hyper 350s. All of them are up. Electrify America, great job. There is one which is a Chatamo, and this is the ultra fast, up to 150 kilowatts. Car charged perfectly. I would say perfectly with a hitch. The most I saw on this 350, I pulled in with a state of charge of 16%. I charged for a little over 32 minutes. And the most I actually pulled was 151 kilowatts, which is a little bit strange to me. Battery was warm. It's 70 degrees out. I just drove, 3 hours or so, 2 hours and 50 minutes to get here. But a good charging session. Very pleased with this location. Every single one of these EAs is up. This is the way EA should do it at every one of their stations. All right, so goodbye to our first charging stop at the walk at Highwoods Preserve here in Tampa. And I would say this was a successful charging stop. What do you think about this whole place here?
Well, it's a great location. Dunkin' Donuts, Panera Bread, a couple other little places you could tool around.
Is there a Best Buy?
Yes, but they're closed this morning.
Whoa, hey now. That was fun. All right, what do you think?
Well, I thought
that was easy.
That was easy.
It was easy. I'm impressed.
It was easy. The only thing I would say is when we pulled up, it was amazing because there was a Lucid Air pulling away. And I was like, wow, there's a Lucid Air pulling away.
And
then there was another Lucid Air that was charging.
Yeah.
And what was weird was...
By the way, I really think they look great.
They do look great.
Beautiful.
We just got to get their software to work.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it was beautiful.
and I've heard that their charging is actually not only fast, but the plug and charge seems to work from what I've spoken to a few people anecdotally. But here's the thing. When I pulled up the EA app, it said all 8 stations were available. And all 8 stations were not available because 3 were actually being used to charge. So, I don't understand that, EA. So we had a good session. And when I say good, it wasn't great. And the reason why it wasn't great is because, look, I plugged into a Hyper, right? I know, this language, it's a 350 and I only pulled 151 max.
I happened to look, on our side, there were 4 350s.
There were, well, so
on the other side?
So that's a good point, Kathy. Great point.
I respect that.
There were 7 350s.
Oh, there were 7.
And 1 150, which was the dual unit CCS Chatamo. Great install, great location. But
right off the highway, right?
And right off the highway, yeah. So I like everything. I just wish I had gotten faster charging. Now we did charge for, I thought it was 32 minutes, but we charged for 38 minutes. And I'll probably put the statistics up here as to.
Can we go on the highway this way and go south?
You want to go south on Naples? No, we're going north. We got to go back to work. We got to go back to work. North on North.
Yeah, 75.
Yeah. All right. Don't you
The
mess.
way we have to go.
You're
It's
messing
not-
me up.
it's not the way you-
If I listen to you, we're going to end up back at the beach.
I know you asked me to come on your road trip.
You know,
This is
listen,
what I
we
do.
could get away with it for probably about 60 days, maybe 90 days. You know, we'll lose our jobs.
No, I have a lot of sick time.
You have a lot of
You're
sick
right.
time? All right.
You're
Well,
right.
maybe.
Oh, I think I'm catching a cold. Achoo. Achoo.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, so look, I don't know why I wasn't pulling anything higher than 151. I actually when I pulled in, I arrived at a state of charge of 16%, and I immediately pulled 143, which was good. And it stayed relatively consistent, ramped up, 51%, it tapered back down. And it was a pretty linear curve after that. So, you know, decent charging session though, I would say. I'm pleased. Not amazed, but pleased. Let's go. Let's keep going. This CCS idea, so far.
If it goes like this, I'm all for it. This was
Okay. Now,
That was easy.
there you go. Now, we did have a backup here in Land O'Lakes with the Supercharger. So I don't even know where we're going to stop next. We got to look at that in a little while. But in the meantime, we're at a 88% state of charge. We had a nice breakfast, walked the pup. You went into Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so just doing a little quick check-in. We are north of Jacksonville, Florida right now. On this last leg, we've gone 191 miles in 2 hours, 52 minutes, burning 302 watt hours per mile. Why a little more efficient? Well, we were on these back roads all the way through central Florida, coming up from Ocala all the way to Jacksonville, which is typical. Now we're carrying some good speed, and we are 13 minutes, 13 miles away from the Tesla Supercharger. I've got that plugged in for Yulee, Florida. We're not going to the Tesla Supercharger because we're going to stick to the CCS network, at least as best as we can for this trip. And there
Hazard reported ahead.
Whoa, hazard reported ahead. What do you think that is?
I don't see a thing. Except maybe construction.
Maybe construction. Look at this neon up here. Wow. Thing is jacked. He's got 6 exhaust pipes. What is up with that? Those can't be exhaust pipes.
1 mile.
What do you
Take
think?
exit 35B on the left onto Interstate 95 north towards Savannah.
35B. All right. So 1 mile, we're going to stay on, well, we're going to get on 95.
Yeah.
So, so we're going to be stopping off in Yulee at a CCS 350, which is operated by FPL, which is Florida Power and Light. And I've never used one of their units before. I'm glad to see, as I mentioned earlier, that they are putting in some high-powered DC fast charging as opposed to just putting in something for compliance 150 or maybe even less. So yeah, I'm anxious to see what that's all about. We found it on PlugShare. What do you think? Are you
I'm optimistic because our first charging session went really well.
right?
So,
You don't think that was like the CCS bait and switch?
well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about it.
Okay.
Now
Oh, I like
take
that.
exit 35B on the left.
Slow down.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I am. I got it. Take it easy. But look at those exhaust pipes
Oh my gosh.
on that neon. That is just.
It's all about the exhaust pipes.
He's from Georgia. Wow, that thing is rigged out nicely. All right, so far, what do you think of this trip, Kathy?
Easy. Not a lot of people on the road. I think we
I
hit
know.
one little section of traffic for maybe a half hour. And the rest has been smooth sailing. hope it
Yeah,
stays
I mean,
like this.
it's 1:21 on New Year's Day. We're just north of Jacksonville, as I mentioned earlier. It's
Maybe
70.
We're just waking up now.
Well, clearly Katie is.
I know. That's why I'm basing my statement.
Yeah, exactly. But it is 75 degrees outside. We are at a 22% state of charge. We're expected to arrive at Yulee FPL CCS with an 18% state of charge. So, super conservative, right?
That's out of spec mom style.
Is that out of spec mom style?
Yes. I don't
I
live
don't
on
know.
the edge.
I don't know.
I don't live on the edge.
Look, what I'm really testing today is the CCS network.
Right, of course.
Right, and
like
so-
if we, for example, brought down the Genesis, would it be easy to charge all the way back?
Well, this would be the trip that we're doing. Wow, look at that neon go. Hold on.
Watch the Mustang. Watch the Mustang.
I see the Mustang. Take it easy. Man, oh man, oh. What do you call that driving?
What?
What do you call that? Backseat driving?
Who, me?
You,
I'm just your co-pilot trying to help you.
co-pilot, trying to help. I was going to out accelerate that Mustang, but yeah. You know who hasn't made an appearance in this video?
Bailey.
Bailey. She has not made a peep.
She's very tired from all the New Year's Eve partying.
Well, Bailey, I think that when we get to Yulee, Florida, to the FPL, you're going to come out and you're going to put on a little show. What do you think? What do you think, girl?
She loves it.
She loves it? Okay. All right. Well, I was just listening to, who were we listening to? Larry the Cable Guy.
It's entertaining.
Always entertaining. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. So, all right. Off to Yulee. Let's go. So here we are at the FPL in Yulee, and both these two DC fast chargers, these are both 350s. We have this gentleman in this beautiful Taycan. He cannot charge. I just tried to authorize this unit over here. I could not get it to get going either. This is a 350 as well. So there's two DC, well, I should say two 350s and four 175s. This gentleman over here in the F-150 Lightning. Have you ever charged here before, sir, or no? So this is your first time and you're having trouble getting going. Okay. These are all 175s, and it looks like this Mustang Mach-E is charging. Are you able to charge okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually just finishing up. You want to try this one?
Are you? Okay, what kind of speeds were you able to get out of here?
I never get like 350 or whatever it is.
Well, this one's only a 175, right? If you look at the station right here, this one's a 170, it says 176 or something like that. But
I mean, in my car, I never really get that level anyways.
Yeah.
Hard to say. I mean,
Right.
I usually get about 100.
right, about 100. Okay.
That's about what I was getting.
Okay.
At max.
All right. And yeah, but at least you. Hey, what a cute dog! Oh my goodness, look at
Another
you!
one back there, too.
Really? How cute!
Real careful. Opposite size dog.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see that. I see that one's a big one. All right, cool. So you're taking off then?
I am.
All right, excellent. All right, so I think I'm going to try over there by where the Buc-ee is. We're going to get this going. Listen, if I can't get this going, I'm going to throw the towel in and just go over to the Superchargers. But that's no fun. CCS is where it's at, folks. Well, the Taycan just took off. The F-150, he's tried both of these DC fast chargers. These are the 350s. And the gentleman in the Taycan said that there's a cone over there that's been there for over a week on the other side. And he said that this unit here actually worked last week. I don't know about this one here. It still says establishing connection. Look, I'm charging, I'm on the hook, but I'm only drawing 100 kilowatts. But guess what? That's okay, because we're gonna go over there by where the Superchargers are, and there's Bailey. Bailey, come here, girl. Hey, hi, baby. Why don't we leave the car?
Okay.
And we'll head on over to get some lunch. And yeah, we'll leave the Model S here on the hook. And we're pulling 101. Listen, I think let's just go get some lunch. We'll try this out. All right, so it's a little disappointing here, I would say, with this FPL station. None of the units, there are 4 175s and 2 350s, and only one of the 175s is actually working, and I'm actually taking in a little over 101 kilowatts. The F-150 Lightning, he's got decent range. He's gonna go off in search of an EA somewhere, but we're gonna stay on the hook here and go grab some lunch. Right over there is actually where the Tesla Superchargers are, and there's also a good burger place there, which we're gonna have some lunch. And yeah, so look, you know, I think that we're definitely, I mean, it's acceptable. I am not sure this is gonna get the easy button. That's kind of a shame that this site is down as much as it is. So here we are at Tesla, Yulee, just checking in. So no big deal as far as pulling up and finding some room here. But there's Bailey making some friends. All right, girl. You know, look, as we're testing out this infrastructure way over there for the CCS, and all of these sessions, all of these stations are up and running, no problems. It's not crowded. And then you've got 6 stations over there from FPL, and 5 out of the 6 are down. So that is just unacceptable. I gotta go on PlugShare and make sure that each one of those sessions individually is reported as being down, because this is just not good. So, you know, the more I think about this, I got to do the right thing. I see an ID4 over there. I believe it's an ID4. He's trying to charge. He's probably not charging successfully. He may need a charge. I've got open Teslas over here. I'm going to walk back way behind me off in the distance. I'm going to walk back with Miss Bailey. And where are you, girl? She's somewhere around here. And I'm going to free up this CCS for someone who needs to use it. Clearly, I could do this. I could charge here on CCS. But you know what? Look, not cool, right? Not cool. That's not the right thing to do. It's actually not an ID4. It's an EV6. Same charging requirement, CCS, of course. So we'll get on over there. We're only about halfway there now. All right, so these gentlemen are from Florida, Tampa, and they're heading back from South Carolina. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug my unit here. Of the 6 FPL stations here in Yulee, Florida, there's only one that is up and running, and it is a DC fast charger. It's a 175. None of these are working. And so only this one right here is up and running. And I'm just gonna go over to the Tesla Supercharger out of courtesy and move. Yes, I could stay here and charge all the way on CCS, but I'm not gonna do it. As we pull away from the FPL CCS station here in Yulee, where only one of 6 DC fast chargers are operable, clearly that is a problem. I noticed an EV6, I thought it was an ID4 at first, but it's an EV6 that was trying to charge. So I was getting a burger over here at Tasty. I walked back and unhooked, and now they're going to be able to get on their way. Why am I able to do that? The word is optionality, folks. When you have Tesla Supercharger right here at your disposal. All right, so with Bailey now on dog mode, it's time to plug in here to the V3 at Yulee. Let's just see, plug in, and what did we charge? What did we get? Oh wow, I think that was less than 6 seconds, and there we are charging. So yeah, listen, interesting how CCS just isn't up to par. So 50% occupied on New Year's Day, and you know, it's just amazing to me that over there are 6 beautiful stations that someone went to the trouble of putting in, and they're just not up. So while we had a good session at an EA earlier, I can tell you that was not a good session right there. People left. The guy in the F-150 pickup, he was like, I got 60 miles of range, I'll go up the road a little bit more. But then when I saw the EV6 there, I had to move. So, and there's Kathy with our food. Let's have some lunch.
5 out of 6 is unacceptable.
You know what was also weird was the layout of that. And there was plenty of land, right? Like they wanted you to pull in parallel, but yet, like when we were leaving that Bolt EUV from Maine, she pulled in like going into a parking, like a parking spot at the mall. But an F-150 would have been sticking out into the traffic, and there wasn't really enough room. So I would say poor design FPL for that. They look like nice units.
Get it designed. FPL, go over there and get them working.
Yeah,
That's just unfair to people. It's unfair.
Yeah, so anyway.
Also, 2 thumbs down for that, and then,
And then I moved over to Tesla.
And
I plugged in, and within 5 seconds,
that was easy.
It just worked. Like every single time.
Always does.
And, I told Kyle what I did, and he's like, Dad, did you have enough range to get to an EA? I said, yeah, Kyle, I probably did, but,
Blame it on me.
you were saying, you were like, let's just charge at Tesla and go. So now we've got high state of charge. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna look, continue to do more CCS. Look, we could have stayed on the hook there. We did the right thing by moving, right?
Poor person putting them down.
Right. I mean, those 2 guys would be, they'd be sitting there waiting for us.
Anyway, the goal of the road trip was go to an EA or, anything that charges a CCS. If it doesn't work, we bail and we go to Tesla. That just happened. That was
That was the rule that you had. Yes, I agree.
And then it was right there, 30 seconds away.
Right.
So
and so that worked. Back on the goal of CCS now, right? For the next one. Okay, good. All right. Well, honey, thanks. That was entertaining. How was the burger, by the way?
Yeah, delicious, good food there.
Yeah, good food. All right. about to pass a Rivian R1S.
Speed.
I don't know if you can check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that thing. That's the first one I've seen on the road. Looking good.
Love it.
Looking real good.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice. I like it. So we're about 6 miles away from the Pooler, Georgia exit, and it's time for us to do a quick little analysis to decide whether or not we're going to go for it, meaning Walmart Supercenter in Florence, or if we're going to wuss out and just be super conservative.
Interstate 9.
Oh, traffic jam?
I know traffic jams are good because that makes us get better.
Take exit 99A on the right.
You,
onto
my
Interstate
friend, need
16.
to stop speaking. Okay, there we go. Now, let's just take a look at this situation here. Where are we saying? Somerton? No, we don't want to do that. We want to go Walmart Supercenter Florence, and we want to remove all charging stops because this thing's way too conservative. Okay. Now I know that is. It says we're going to get there with 3%
Oh,
state
that's
of
even
charge.
less than before. We're going to wuss it out. We're going to just bail.
We're going to wuss it out?
Yeah, we're going to bail.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
You're allowed. You're with me.
I don't know how to wuss it out.
I do.
How?
It's called stop, get a little juice.
Yeah, but we're about to run into more traffic. I've got 228 indicated miles of range. I've only got 181 miles to the target. And you think we should wuss out?
Can you look at me quickly? Do I look like me or do I look like your son, Kyle Connor?
Well, you look a little. I see a little bit of.
Let's
you
remember
and him and
who your audience is. It's me.
All right, I'm going to steer this. Look at this. S turns. This
Oh,
is so
boy,
much
it's gonna
fun.
be
95 is like the twisties here.
All right, I'm
This is-
shutting this off.
Wait.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to wuss out,
Yeah, let's wuss out.
and we're going to go Pooler, Georgia.
Sorry, out of spec fans, but you're dealing with out of spec
But
mom.
we're only going to go there for a tiny,
No, a tiny top off.
tiny top off. A tiny top off. All right, 4 miles. Okay.
Okay?
I just don't.
It's okay. You're with me. You're allowed.
All right, I guess it's one more station we can check on, right?
See, look at that, reporting the news.
Yeah.
It'll be hot off the press.
All right, whatever. All right, so welcome to Pooler, Georgia, here at the Walmart. We've got some nice activity. We got a Rivian R1S over there, which is looking sweet. We got a Polestar. We got an F-150 Lightning. As a matter of fact, this is the same F-150 Lightning that we saw back in Yulee, Florida. And we are charging here the Model S on a 150. And so far, so good. At least for us, seemingly worked. So I think that's a good thing. We are not needing a lot of charge here. As I mentioned before, what we're going to do is we're going to just get enough to get over to Florence, and just being a little more conservative than perhaps I usually am, because I've got the lovely bride with me over here, and she's made the executive decision. But look, it's a nice night out. I think it's a good night to maybe go walk around Walmart and see what kind of sales they may be having. You never know what you might find in the Walmart. Okay, so here we are at Pooler, Georgia, and we're at the Electrify America. There's 6 CCSs here, 2 350s, 4 150s. One of the 350s that's showing as available is not working. Both a Rivian R1S as well as this F-150 Lightning pulled in and did not charge, even though it says available. I'm charging fine on a 150, nothing great. I pulled in with a relatively high state of charge. The Rivian R1S over there is on a 150. He was pulling actually 154. This F-150 here is, let me see what he's pulling. He's pulling 157 at a 44% state of charge. So look, I would say good station. It's up. There is availability here, but the 350, one of the 2 350s is down. So not good. Okay, so I just charged up at Pooler, Georgia, actually quite a bit more than I wanted to, but it got a bit interesting over there with the Rivian R1S, a Ford F-150 Lightning, a Mustang Mach-E, and myself all trying to charge on one of the 350s, station number 2, that is being advertised as EA by EA right now as being available. and it's simply not. Of course, I went on PlugShare. I said it's not available there. All the other units, 5 out of 6, they're up and running, and that's good. So, you know, we were able to charge. We went deep into the pack. We actually have, let's just see. We charged on a 150. Here, let me just, let me get going here a little bit. I'm going over to display, and let's just see what state of charge I charged up to. Percentage. You know, I went up to 93%, and one of the reasons I did that was because, you know, by the time you get to Walmart, you go in, you use the restroom, you make a couple little videos here and there, and then you talk to some of the people. Before you know it, even on a 150, I'm ready to like get going and leave. So we've got more than enough to get to Florence. As a matter of fact, we may make it all the way. I got to check this out, but look, good, you know, decent session. It just upsets me that why is EA saying that station number 2 is available when it's not? So we've got to get this reporting more accurate. The guy in the Ford Mustang Mach-E, he was just shaking his head. He goes, "We got to get this right." And you could just sense the frustration that these people are having out here on the road. None of this frustration exists at any of the Tesla supercharger stations that I have been to. You know, it's possible there could be a wait here or there. I haven't seen it at all today, but I haven't been to that many superchargers because I'm really trying to use the CCS infrastructure. But, you know, every time you go to Tesla, I keep saying it, sound like a broken record, it just works. So here we are at Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina, and you'll see that we are charging at the Supercharger. Who put her foot down on this one? That one right there. This one over here. It's just too freaking convenient, and I'm kind of tired. I've been driving for 14 hours, and look, we could find a CCS, but man, I need a haircut. What the heck? Oh my gosh. But let's go into Buc-ee's.
It's crazy.
We'll
Look at the size of the gas station over there.
I know.
All these beautiful Tesla
I know.
Superchargers. It doesn't make sense.
I know.
not to do this.
Well, this is the one exception on the trip, okay? Buc-ee's, we need some brisket. We need some bathrooms. What do you think, Kathy?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah?
ready to get a little Buc-ee.
You're going to get a Buc-ee?
One little Buc-ee.
All right. Look at this MR2 here on the trailer. Very cool. I like this. The Mr. 2. I lost Kathy. I don't know where she is. Where is she? Let's look. Oh, there's dog stuff. Oh, look at all these cute little dog toys. Oh boy. Oh, there she is. All right, what do you got?
Oh, look what I found for Bailey.
Oh, that's perfect.
Then you can grab one end.
Yeah.
You can grab the other. I love this place. This
Maybe
is
you and I can
insane.
play with that thing.
When we get bored in the car.
All right, yeah, that sounds
This is
good.
awesome. Look at all the fun things.
I know.
Love it.
Great. What do you think of Buc-ee's?
It's huge.
Well, folks, here I am at Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina, where I just charged the Tesla, and I didn't use CCS. Here it is on New Year's Day Eve, And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Teslas here and 10 open spots. So come on down to Buc-ee's and charge up. Every single one of these units works except one. We have actually found a problem with a Tesla Supercharger. I think this is the first time I've ever seen this, but you know, look at this here. It's kind of like wrapped around and it's just out of order. You know it's out of order because the Tesla lights are actually not lit like they are on every other one of them. So look, overall, all kidding aside, amazing installation here. I couldn't help myself but charge. I know I was trying to do the entire trip from Florida to Connecticut on CCS. I'm pretty confident I could, but you know what? I'm tired. Buc-ee's was here. Kathy said, let's charge here. And then we're heading up to the hotel. So amazing spot. I loved showing you Buc-ee's, but I feel a little guilty because we charged here. So
I really don't know what your problem is.
So
great stuff. Good brisket. We got some brisket.
Good brisket. Sandwiches. Yeah, I think it's all over my shirt. I don't know.
Another one.
There goes a red Model X.
Yeah.
Great store. Beautiful merchandise everywhere.
Got a little toy for Bailey.
They have some great beef brisket. They got some good peanuts and trail mix.
Everything. It's almost like a mini grocery
We got a toy
store.
for Bailey. And what else? What I would say is that 16 V3s, they all work except one. One was down, and
yeah, like big whoop.
Big whoop. 1 out of 16. There's still only 5 cars there.
Yeah.
So here it is on
right off 95.
Right off 95. Yeah.
I'm so happy they opened of these in here.
So you would come back to this place?
I don't think we can come down anymore and not stop here. I think this is the place.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. They've got coffee, they've got ice cream, they've got anything.
Brownies,
brownies, cookies, little Buc-ee. He was so cute. Did you see his buck teeth?
Some cashew nuts.
Let me try. Did you see his big teeth?
He's Buc-ee.
Wow.
But overall, just so convenient, well aligned with a road trip. Everything you need is right there.
So, if you were to compare this to south of the border,
oh my gosh,
which is only about 5 miles up the road here, I mean, would you say they've got some competition?
No, I say they should burn them south of the border.
No,
it's horrible. If you've never been, don't ever go.
Pedro says,
I think in the 60s, it probably was a good place to go. Even you, the last time you came, do you remember? I watched your video.
Yeah.
You tried to get some food, and even by your standards, it was bad. He walked out. He never walks out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He walked out.
Yeah. It was
a good choice. It's bad.
I just
This Buc-ee's is like the Ritz-Carlton compared to south of the border.
You know, when Buc-ee moved to town, he gave Pedro a call. And he said, Pedro, there's a new sheriff in town.
There's a new beaver in town.
And I have buck teeth. Get out of my way. Anyway, yeah, it's a little sad. I feel a little sad for south of the border. Yeah, I do.
Gross.
It's gross, but in such a sort of a nice, kind of a homey way.
In a very gross way. It has to go. Don't ever go to south of the border.
You know, there's a Shell recharge station there for CCS cars.
Oh, I know, you drove me through. It was.
You know, that's what we should have done. We should have gone there and charged at south of the border.
I don't go there anymore.
You don't go there anymore?
Especially in the middle of the night.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, Buc-ee's that's a 10 out of 10.
That's a 2 thumbs up, and that gets out of spec moms.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was easy. That's beyond easy. All right, you win. Good morning, day 2 of our road trip back to Connecticut from Florida. It's 6:44 a.m. We are at a 49% state of charge, and it is 46 degrees out, so it's getting a little chilly.
Sure is.
Getting a little chilly. I still have shorts on, though. I think people are going to look at me funny when we get up north, but I don't really care. I don't care. I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I don't care. I don't care. So, what's the plan today?
Get home safely.
Okay.
And I'm on board to start again trying the CCS chargers.
Yeah.
To see how we do.
Okay, great. So we got to figure out where we're going to go. We'll do that in a little bit. Let's just review the trip so far. We have gone a total distance of 821 miles, and we have burned 250 kilowatt hours of energy, and super efficient for a road trip like this, 304 watt hours per mile. Now, most of that reason is that we really hit some traffic yesterday in South Carolina.
South Carolina was brutal.
Brutal.
It was down to 2 lanes, still is 2 lanes now, but it was brutal.
Well, we're in North Carolina
Oh,
now.
that's right.
Yeah. So we stayed overnight in La Quinta, whatever that is. That was okay.
Dog friendly.
Dog friendly. Although they charged $30 at this La Quinta in Smithfield, whereas when I stayed at the La Quinta going down from Connecticut to Florida, it was only $10. So what's with that?
I think she was annoyed with me last night.
Who, the dog?
No, the girl at the counter.
Why was she annoyed with you?
Well, remember how nobody was there and
Yeah.
the phone was ringing?
Yeah.
And it's midnight, we were tired.
And you hit the bell.
I may have hit the bell.
Yeah, but that's
But
what
I thought that's why it's there, and we waited.
Yeah.
And because she gave me quite the look when she
Yeah.
came out.
I like the fact that in this day and age, there's all these electronic things, and then there's still
Still the bell.
the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
And it's a metal bell, and it's mechanical,
It's totally
and
old school.
and you feel so empowered when you go ding, and then someone shows up and say, "How may I help you?"
She didn't really say that.
No, she didn't.
Last name.
I guess I should steer. Okay. Yeah. So all right, let's figure out where we're gonna go next,
Okay.
and then we'll check in a little bit. But so far, good trip, I would say.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
It's
everyone.
January 2nd.
Yeah. Buc-ee's was fun. Buc-ee's was fun. Someone did mention in the comments, though, that Buc-ee's doesn't have a place to sit down and eat your food,
That's true.
either indoors or outdoors. No picnic tables, or very few. I didn't see any. But, you know, I think that's a fair point,
Agreed.
because they have a lot of good food there,
They
and
want you in and
they want you
out.
in, and they don't want you hanging around. They want you out so they get someone else to buy more food, I guess. But the place is so huge. I would say Buc-ee's, you might want to add some picnic, at least some outdoor picnic tables. But I don't know. All right, we'll check in a little bit. Here it is, Kathy, Virginia.
1, 2, 3.
That was weak. All right, high five. There we go. That made up. That's right. All right, so no radar detectors allowed in Virginia.
True.
And, all right, so update for the trip here. We have gone so far a total of
We
9.
have gone so far. We've gone so far.
We've gone so far,
We've gone so far.
but not far enough.
Yeah.
We've gone
We've gone so far.
903 miles, burning 308 watt hours per mile, which is very good. At the pace that we've gone for this trip, which has been fast and slow, because, why is that funny?
Think about what you just said.
Well, you know, but
We've gone fast and we've gone slow.
right. I'm just saying, like, there's been times when
Isn't
we,
that how every road trip goes?
you know, sometimes you go fast the whole road trip. But South Carolina,
Disaster.
we went slow.
We crawled.
Right. So, what part of
I
we've
know, it
gone?
just sounded like so generic. Oh, we went fast and we went slow.
Well, okay. There's only so many things you can do on a road trip, right?
Like last disco music.
Disco music was
Last
great.
night.
Oh,
Last night.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of disco going on.
what
right here.
what was your favorite disco song last night?
I don't know, Disco Inferno.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Little Donna Summer then.
Donna Summer, I Feel Love.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So much. So much.
The Bee Gees.
Best.
You gotta love the Bee Gees. All right, so we have decided that we are going to stop. Our next stop is going to be at a Walmart of all places, another CCS, an Electrify America. This one is Emporia, Virginia. They have 4.
I think it was 4, but only.
Oh yeah, there's only 4 stations, so it's small.
But I think 2 of them are lame.
2 of them are lane.
No, I don't mean like broken down. I mean, aren't 2 of them like only
Well,
50 or 150?
Chili Taylor, according to PlugShare, checked in this morning and said that station 3, plug 1, is the best that he or she has seen. And they did a road trip back and forth to Tampa from somewhere up north. So look, we're gonna go to Emporia. There's a Walmart there, and plug in, and we're gonna continue day 2 of the road trip back to Connecticut. Again, trying to use the CCS network wherever we can. All right, so
That's the plan.
are you having fun?
I always have fun.
How about Bailey? I mean,
She's not made a peep.
she's not made a peep. I think she's camera shy. What do you think?
Well, we'll try to get her to smile a little bit today.
Yeah, she's got to be a little bit more smiley today. All right.
Well, I like that she just likes her little house and she stays in it. She doesn't even whine. She's really good.
Yeah, she definitely is a good girl. I think she's a little confused because she's in the back seat, and she's normally used to sitting right next to
I
me.
know. I took her co-pilot too.
Yeah, you took her. I think she's been relegated in the pack.
She's been booted.
She's been booted, and so she just gave in and said, "I'm going to sleep the whole time."
She's happy. She's happy when she's with you.
Yeah, she's happy when she's with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next stop, Walmart, Emporia, Virginia. So here I arrive at Emporia, Electrify America, at the Walmart, of course, and there's nobody here. We've got two 350s, two 150s, one Chatamo combo, and I was asking Kathy where my coffee went, and I just found out where it went. I see remnants of my coffee where I put it on the roof, where you can see the CCS adapter. I just put that up there now, but I have this bad habit of putting things on the roof and then they fly away. So we're gonna need a car wash for sure. But let's get this thing plugged in and see what's going on. All right, so here we are, station number 3, plugging in. I always swipe before I plug in. That's just a little trick that I do. And there we go. We have connection. Yeah, it'll take a second. I hear the clicks inside the units. Anyone home? Hello? Hey, listen, Electrify America, 4 out of 4, all says available. All seem to be up and running. Yeah, this is good. Let's see what kind of energy we pull here. Yeah, they're all looking good here. Okay, welcome, Dave.
It's
31.
green.
Yeah, it's been green for a while.
No, I just watched it turn green.
It just turned green then?
Yes.
I thought it was green for a while.
No.
All right, continue. This thing's so slow when it cycles. 149 kilowatts. I did not precondition before I got here. 150 kilowatts. Look, I'll take it. This is good. January 2nd, folks. Nobody here in Emporia, Virginia, at the Walmart. What do you say we go inside and do a little, maybe a little
walking?
2023 shopping?
Get my steps in at the Walmart.
158. Wow. Ramping up. 160. Hold on. We're ramping up here. 64. Yeah, so we plugged in at a 12% state of charge. We're already up to a 15% state of charge, and we were seeing 168 kilowatts coming into the car, which is good. Listen, not V3 speeds, but again, I did not, it's pretty cold out. It's only about 45 degrees out, so I think that perhaps the battery pack is a little chilly. I did not precondition, so I'll give this one so far a good score. Good score. About to finish my charging session, pulled in with a 12% state of charge, and saw a maximum of 209 kilowatts. I did not precondition before I got here. There are 4 stations. There are 2 350s, there are 2 150s, and one of the 150s is a Chatamo. Of course, we're at a Walmart, and of course I did go do a little shopping in there, but overall good session here. Nice iX there, Kia Niro. I would give this a a good session here, good charging session. All right, so here we are in Abingdon, Maryland, and these folks here, this guy Steve just bought, he's got a brand new Chattanooga ID4, first time ever charging, and Electrify America actually worked the first time, so hats off to him. He's actually at a 36% state of charge, pulling only 68 kilowatts. His battery's pretty cold, but look at this, a Lucid Air. This is the 3rd one I've seen in the wild on this trip, but here, what are we doing over here? We are plugged in. This is our last charging stop before we head home to Connecticut. We got the Model S with the Combo 1 charger, the Combo 1 adapter, and everything seems to be going super well. So this is great. We're pulling 217 kilowatts at 30% state of charge. This is the fastest I've seen on this trip, and I'm very pleased with that. We actually pulled in at a relatively high state of charge. We're at 31% state of charge right now, 218 kilowatts. Now, granted, at 31% state of charge on a V3 supercharger, I'm pulling 250. That's where it starts to taper. But look, this is a good result. Overall, I'm super happy with what has happened on this trip in terms of deliberately trying to just do CCS the whole way. It's doable, folks. It's not as easy. There aren't as many options, but guess what? At least up and down this 95 corridor on a holiday weekend, no less, New Year's weekend, we're able to do it. And so, you know, look, just everyone's you gotta reuse the tools. You gotta use PlugShare. Please, you know, log all of your charging sessions on Rate Your Charge. That's on Twitter. So please, you know, tweet out what your experience is. Make sure that you actually take a little 1 minute, 2 minute video of your experience. Tag us at Rate Your Charge, and we'll go ahead and tweet that out, and we'll retweet that. But look, good charging session here. I think what we're gonna do is finish walking Bailey and maybe talk a little bit more with these folks over here who are all excited about their ID4. I'm so happy for them. This color red, I was just saying, I don't generally like red cars. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's what we got going on here. Bailey, I just want to thank you. What a good girl you were this whole trip. She just sat in the back in her little house. I think that new Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer doll, that's what made you so happy, right?
That's her new friend.
And she didn't make a peep the whole time.
So good.
You're such a good girl.
Now, if you didn't make a peep, boy, that would
Me?
be something.
I didn't make any peeps. Did I make peeps?
Chat, chat, chat.
I usually eat those at Easter.